start with do's. Reach the venue 10 minutes before. So if it is offline, you have to reach. Otherwise, make sure that you be online available 10 minutes prior to your interview. Reaching on time is also bad because you cannot completely concentrate on that. So it's always suggested 10 minutes before. Carry extra copies of resume. Should not just go with one copy. At least suggested go with 5 copies of printed copies of resume. Keep it in your file folder and take. And one more thing I forgot to tell you here about a resume also. When you carry resume, it should not be rolled, it should not be folded, not even the edges. Like, make sure that it is very proper. Should not hold the resume in your hand and walk inside. It should be always carried in the file folder. Folded resume or crushed resume or rolled resume. Resume is like, it is your representation. And if you go with rolled, crushed or folded, that shows that you are not disciplined. Okay, so be very careful. Do not make this mistake of rolling resume, and make sure that you sign and put the date on that. Can we please put the mic on the hold? Just check whose mic is on. Thank you. Now, wear formals. When it comes to interview, don't even think of wearing just a blazer on the jeans pant. Wearing blazer on the jeans pant doesn't make it look formal. Okay? When like what all we can include in formal dress? Here is a list. Your college uniform for both boys and girls, it is a formal for you. But blazer, when you're wearing like your college uniform, do not wear sandals. Like footwear should be shoes, and for you and girls, you have a formal shoes which suits with your blazer. Please maintain that. Now, college uniform can be your formal dress. Otherwise, for ladies or girls, either salwar kameez. Salwar kameez is also referred as in an Indian context is referred as a formal dress. Should be simple and properly ironed, and western formal wear what you will be having. So that is for ladies. For gents, light and sober colored shirts, white blue looks good, and dark trousers. Okay, do not reverse it. Preferably go with lighter color shades of shirts and darker shades of trousers. Dark gray and dark blue looks good. If black you prefer for trouser, that is okay. Suits look best in gray and blue shades, but otherwise you already have invested on your college uniform. Go with those shades of blazers and suit. One more thing, the suit and blazer are not our actual cloth systems. So we have borrowed it from Western countries where 6 to 8 months they have winter season. So for them they need any cloth which keeps them warm. Otherwise the place where we stay, where generally in summer and other times we have a very short winter and short rainy season. Otherwise our summer is prolonged summer, and 35, 38, 40 degree temperature we generally have. So don't be uncomfortable wearing a suit or blazer. Even a formal shirt is also fine. There is no compulsion that you should wear a tie. Otherwise it looks good if you want to wear. If you want to wear a tie, it should go in contrast with what shirt, and it should go on complement with what your trouser is like. It should not like just match with your shirt and should not go off like match with your trouser. Make sure have a proper selection of tie and learn putting knot properly. Okay, sometimes I've seen, and length of the tie should be very appropriate. Okay, and the knot of the tie should be very appropriate. Carry a handkerchief, and preferably white in color. Now next comes with footwear. Well polished black or brown footwears are suggested, and it comes to wearing socks. It should always match with formal dress code is. It always should match with the trouser color. And belt is an accessory. Wearing belt is not compulsory, but in our context the mindset is if you wear properly dressed, you are wearing a tie but you don't wear a belt, people look at you like, hey, bhool gaya, he has forgotten wearing a belt. Belt is only worn when my pant is not properly fitting in. But otherwise, it is a mindset. If at all you want to wear, already you have a collection of belts. Just make sure that brown color footwear you're wearing, brown color belt you just have to go with, and black color, black color. Itna to kar lo. Then light makeup. My makeup doesn't only mean for girls. My makeup is like a cream and a powder what you apply is always good before you enter your interview venue. It is not to impress someone, it is to present yourself in a nice way. Mostly you have traveled in a bus or something, you need to properly groom your hair and use a decent fragrance perfume. There are some people like me, I sweat a lot, so I always have an issue of that bad odor because sweat is order free. For your information, sweat is order free. When you have noticed this, during when you are playing basketball or something or any game, you're sweating so heavily, then you're not like smelling. But the moment you sit outside for 5 minutes, then your sweat starts smelling bad. The bacteria sit on your sweat, makes it create that odor, bad odor. So it's always suggested to carry light perfume, light odor perfume or a deo spray. Make sure that you are not disturbance to anybody. Rather, like either with a bad smell or with a very strong fragrance of a perfume. Very, very mild and gentle fragrance is suggested. Your hair, both ladies and gents, groom your hair well. Don't try any new hairstyle on that day. Go with your regular hairstyle where you are comfortable. Maintain neat and well polished nail. If you don't apply any nail polishes, make sure that it is well polished, because these are the few things which is visible. Okay, so make it keep it neat, and if you prefer polishing it, polish it well. Carry a pen and pad. Okay, like when you walk inside, generally you come with a bag or something in your hand, like a small book or diary you just have to carry. And always it is suggested, not only for interviews, for your upcoming, henceforth it make a note that whether you're wearing jeans, t-shirt, anything what you're wearing, carry a pen, at least keep it in your pocket. That's something which is very, very essential, especially when you're walking into bank. You're supposed to carry a pen. And when it is interview, make sure that carry a pen, not only just which should look good, need not be any branded one. It can be a 3 rupees, 2 rupees use and throw pen is also fine. A pen which can write, carry that. Carry a file folder and that can hold your documents and resume. Already said, do maintain. Like invest some 50 rupees to purchase that file folder, so that your photos, your resumes, your documents, everything will fit in. Enter the room with the confidence and the smile on the face. This is very important. Okay, no matter like maintaining smile on the face, it requires loads and loads of practice, and with that practice you get that confidence. That's what, the way you walk, the way you sit, the way you wish, that's what the confidence is required. Be calm, listen carefully, and answer properly. Generally what happens is when you're sitting outside and you're waiting, your friend come outside from the interview. Moment what he comes or she comes, we run to that person and ask, tell me what all questions they have asked, like what answers you have given. Don't do that. That was his or her interview. Your interview will be a different one. Okay, the HR sitting inside is not a stupid person who will ask the same question to all 100 candidates. That person will change. That person will change the pattern of the questions or the question format, the way you walk in, the way you submit the resume, and the mistakes you have done in the resume. Everything will, like, don't be prejudiced that the same thing will be asked. So you are in the nervousness and all, like lot of pressure. You want this job, the package is good, so you want this by any condition, at any condition. So do not walk inside with that pressure. You have to come, sit, relax. Okay. What you should do is, one more thing I have forgot to mention here is, like, always when you walk into the interview venue, in your bag, I suggest you to carry a bag. In your bag, keep a water bottle, a biscuit bundle, a biscuit packet, and sometimes if you like chocolates, you can keep. Okay. Why? It is not always you are asked to sit outside the interview hall and immediately sent inside. Sometimes 1 or 2 hours you are asked to wait. And you, because of your interview and all, morning you did not have your breakfast properly, By the time you have reached, like you are under the nervousness, you did not feel hungry at home. But by the time you have reached and you are waiting, it's been 1.5 hours. You are hungry now. Now you have two options. One, sit hungry, or otherwise just walk out and go to the cafeteria and eat something and come back. Now think that you have decided the second option and you just walked out and having something. Meantime, your name is called and you're gone. You're missed out. So better keep a biscuit packet and eat, drink, keep it inside. Don't throw the wrapper here and there. Just keep it with you. And when your name is called, just take a water bottle, sip a water, and go inside. Generally, in the nervousness, we feel the dry tongue. Okay, that is generally happens. Everyone it happens. So little water will definitely help you. Okay, it will not allow you to dehydrate. So sit calm. Second, listen carefully. No matter what question they ask. Like first, I always see some students who are so impatient to answer that they don't listen to the question properly. So first listen to the question completely, then answer. Then answer properly. If you don't know the answer, it is always good to say, I don't know, sir. Instead of bluffing things and saying something, some wrong information, it is always good. If you listen it to carefully, then you can decide whether to answer or not. Okay? Professional and honest and say no when you don't know. This is what. You need to be professional in answering and you should tell no when you don't know. Learning that assertive quality you have to work on, and that assertive quality is very much essential quality. Have some research done on that, what is assertive quality and how it is to be developed. Work on that. Okay. And finally, maintain proper body language. Okay, how to walk, how to sit. Not only here, like especially this is very important thing, my dear friends. When you sit outside, okay, you're waiting. It's been 1.5 hours. Your turn is not come. You have others who are not giving interview today. They are just walking in the corridor. They come. They fall on you. They pull your shirts, drag your bag, everything. This is what we generally do in your college days. But avoid all these nonsense things during your interview, because as I said, there will be one person who will be having a watch on you. Okay? So the way you sit outside, the way you sit inside, that matters a lot. So your proper body language, proper gesture, proper facial expression, everything, that what we shall do is in the next session, we have decided to have a session on complete body language. So we shall discuss in detail on that day after tomorrow. Okay? So these are the components which come under do's. Now I'll take you to the don'ts. Avoid these. Number 1, do not enter the room without permission. Whether you're from English medium or Kannada medium, okay? In our childhood, school days, we have been taught on this, that before enter school or any premises, take the permission and go. Okay, this is known to everyone. What happens is, when we are under huge pressure and we will be in last minute preparation is going on. I'm preparing on my self introduction, I'm preparing on other question, everything. The last minute preparation is going on. With that mind, occupied mind, I may forget taking permission. So never do this mistake. This is like blunder. Okay, the door, just peep inside, take the permission. If the HR is on the telephone or something, call or something, just hold. Then when they say yes, come inside. Walk. Okay, don't slam the door while coming or while going. Make sure that it is properly shut. Now you walk and come. Now there is a chair in front of the table. HR is sitting. You come and say good morning sir and hand over your resume. This is the procedure. You walk, stand, say good morning, good afternoon, or hand over the resume. Sir, this is my resume. Or madam, this is my resume. Fine. Now there is a chair. I see some of these candidates, they're so impatient that they ask a permission that, sir, may I sit? Generally, 80% of the HR says, okay, sit. But there are some 20% of HRs, including me, I feel irritated. The chair is meant for you. You have given me a resume. Now I am glancing, having a glance on your resume. That may take 10 or 15 seconds. Don't you have a patience of 10-15 seconds to stand and wait? When somebody tells me like this, sir, shall I sit? Then I say, you have given me option now. Shall I sit? I say no. I make that candidate stand for 10 minutes and give his or her interview. That is my way. Because you have asked. Because otherwise, I would offer you. You are the one who walked in. You are the one who gave me the resume. I am looking at your resume for a minute, not even for a minute, just 10 or 15 seconds. Otherwise, immediately what happens, HR will offer you to sit. Have that patience. Okay. Never fold your resume and carry. That already have discussed. Don't do that. Never. That is a very bad way of representing yourself. Don't keep your bag on the table. As I said, you will be carrying a bag. Don't avoid carrying plastic polythene bags and all. Carry your bag, either a handbag or a shoulder bag, whatever you have, backpack or something. Generally, what we do is we come and while sitting, don't drag the chair. Pull, push, no. Lift and keep it back. Once you sit, either keep it on your lap or on either side of you, on the right or left side. Keep it. Don't keep it on the table. Right now, the table belongs to HR. So that is his or her property. Don't occupy that. Okay, keep it. And also you should know that the bag what you are carrying, in which section of the bag what you have kept. When it is asked like, Praveen, take the pen and do calculate, pick up the book or diary. Then you should not take the bag and start searching it. No. You should know. If it has got 4 compartments, you should know which section you have kept that. You should be very. So before enter your interview, you should know your resume. You should know yourself. You should know your bag. Don't drag the chair and don't lean on the table. I said don't drag the chair, lean on the table. Keep a proper distance. Sit straight. Don't talk negative about your institution or college. This is very important. There are some chances where they provoke you to talk about your college. Especially they ask you to highlight your negative aspect of your college. And sometimes we'll be we'll be waiting for that platform. Somebody is provoking me and somebody is asking me. When we get an audience to listen to our sad story about the college, we start omitting everything. Don't do that mistake. You know how it is concluded? Very simple. You are in this college for 2 years and this college is helping you to get this job. And in front of that HR who is very unknown and within 2 or 3 minutes you are ready to disclose all the weaknesses about your college. It is obvious that tomorrow you will talk negative about this company to somebody else. Don't do that. Never argue with an interviewer. See, argument is to some extent where you are trying to convince that person. Is like he says no and you try to, yes sir, I have done it. That is okay. A professional argument is okay. But never ever drag argument that you are wrong, I am wrong. No. Sometimes what HR wants to know that to what extent you drag your conversation. So if that is the case, if you realize that this is somewhere heading into that argument, just lay back your weapons and say, done sir, that's okay, I think I am wrong, let me go back and let me check on this. Okay, accept, don't argue. Don't bluff. This is something serious crime in the interview. The person who is taking interviews might have definitely done the similar courses 5 or 10 years back and already done working 5-10 years and seen candidates like you at least 5 or 10,000. So immediately they catch hold of your bluffs. Don't ever do that. Don't give any excuses or reasons. This is I personally hate this. Okay. Whatever reasons you give or excuses you give may be genuine, but that is meaningless. No, their perception. While getting job, when you can give me 2-3 reasons, tomorrow once you get job, you flood your reasons. Okay, that is what. Very simple. They don't expect all these things. They nahi to nahi. Not done is not done. Why not done? Ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya. That's immaterial. That's what I always insist on this particular thing. Maybe it is genuine. I understand as a personally as a Praveen, as a person. Personally, I can understand. But when it comes to some task, no excuses. Don't be blank. Try to answer. Some questions are so it's like a bounce. No, you have not even understood the questions. If you don't understand the question, don't sit blank. Okay, don't give a blank body language and blank face. Look at some corner of the room. Rather, just seek once again, seek the permission of the HR to repeat that question once again so that you can understand. Try answering. Try make an attempt of answering it. Okay. Don't request permission to speak in local language. This is for some of our candidates who definitely do this because their spoken ability is poor. They cannot make sentences. What do? Is they urge this request. They, sir, please, madam, can I speak in Kannada? Can I speak in Hindi? No, this is something good. Now I'll tell you one thing. When you give excuses, excuses and local language together, I club and I give example. I have seen a lot of candidates who come and tell me that, like, when I ask, looking at their communication and it's very clear that they can't speak good English, a decent English, and they write their skill that communication skills. And I was like, your English is not good. Why should I give you job? No, what they answer, sir, I will improve. Madam, I will improve. No, simple thing. Last 24 years, when you cannot improve, how can you improve in next 1 or 2 months? No, their answer is, then improve and come. Very simple. See, when I know that product is damaged, why should I take it, man? When there are other candidates, other products which are good, why should I take you? You have given these excuses. Like, you knew that in the interview, I have to speak English. In your school days only, somebody have come and told you that English will be important for you in your future days. 5-10 years we have given these excuses, and even in the interview, if you tell you that, like, my English is not good, when are you going to prepare? After you, do you think 24 years you have not done it, now you got a job and you do things? See, you are putting some efforts, that I can clearly see. You have started preparing, working on your resume. You have started working on your aptitude. You have started working on your group discussion topics. Okay, this is what you have started working on. Now you are putting day in, day out, extra time and all. You are putting efforts. You know why? To get a job. Do you think that the same amount of extra effort you will be putting once you get the job also? No, you will not. Certainly, because you already got the job. Why should I do it? I don't need. But I sincerely suggest continue this preparation of practicing what you are doing for at least next 6 months after getting job also. Who knows, the job what you got is suitable for you or you are suitable for that job or not. Maybe after 1 or 2 months, either you will leave the job or company will throw you out. Then you have to go to other company. Then you have to start from ABCD, aptitude, group discussion, everything. That's what it is my sincere suggestion, my dear friends. After getting job also, because we will not be knowing that whether this job suits me or not, it at least takes 6 months. Keep in touch with your group discussion preparation, knowledge upgradation, aptitude preparation, everything, keep it on. Okay? No excuses. Speaking local language in interview, not suggested. Don't be irrelevant. That is like, be specific. Don't talk anything which is not relevant to that topic. Don't drag and beat around the bush. Avoid carrying mobile phones in pocket. See, we are into the era of mobile phone, and I can tell you that mobile has become inevitable part of you, and we have become so important for few people. That's what we cannot avoid. We cannot put the mobile phone switch off. If I switch off the phone, India's growth will stop. World will collapse. Everything will happen. I understand. But it is my sincere request, my dear friends. So what happens? Most of you tell that, sir, we'll keep it in silent mode. Silent is like vibration. Think that you have put your mobile phone in your pocket and it is in silent mode. Obviously, we will be having that idiot friend of ours who doesn't care where you are sitting, whether you are sitting in examination, whether you are sitting in an interview hall, whether you are sitting in a mandir, or whether you are sitting in a toilet. That person will call you until you receive his or her call. Okay? Think that person is outside the gate and he wants you to go and meet that person, and that person is calling again and again. Repeatedly that person is calling, and now the phone is in your pocket. It is in vibration. Definitely the voice is like that, audio is not heard, but vibration, that vibration can be heard, and also that vibration irritates you so that, and think that on that moment when that your friend is calling, you are at that one tricky question where your HR wants to test your presence of mind, and your entire focus is on your mobile phone. We can avoid that. Put your mobile phone into that switch off mode for 15 minutes. World is not going to miss you than that 15 minutes, because you are at the most important task of your life. Okay? And sometimes if you keep the mobile in silent mode, it is seen in your college, right? You keep your bag in the table and vibration mode, and entire bench and entire table starts vibrating. Avoid these mistakes. Avoid casual wear and avoid casual behavior. So that's what I said. Wearing blazer on the jeans will not make it look formal. It is semi-casual, and footwears and all. Wear casual dress, like wear dress when you are in the casual mood. But it is a official and a formal platform where it is suggested to wear formal dress. Also, avoid your casual behavior, both inside as well as outside the waiting area. So you are being tested. So your one wrong move will be very, very, very what I can say, damaging your all performances. So be very careful. These are the